No, no.
¿Qué pedo? Güey, creo que sí.
The following officer is working night shift in an old hospital and is pretty certain that the ghosts of former patients are roaming the hallways, since ever so often, things are moving around, even when nobody seems to be close to them.
Come on. See, I. Oh, no.
So, could this have been a ghostly entity that was pushing the wheelchair? Or how else do we explain this? This was captured by a security officer who was patrolling the San Francisco Armory, and it would appear that something rather eerie unfolded this night.
God, no. This is what I'm talking about, dude. This is what I'm talking about. I'm here in this building by myself, bruh. By myself.
Was it perhaps a ghost that is still roaming this old armory, or just a little breeze? Based on the officer's account, the doors are heavy and can't just be pushed open like that. So, we can only speculate in the end if this was a ghostly encounter, or something more explainable. In the following video, three friends are home alone when one of them decides to call their mom after a frightening incident.
In about 10 minutes, I need you to stay calm though, okay?
Okay,
So calm, quiet, keep the door locked. Alright, do not go out of the room whatsoever.
The three friends are locked in a room for safety. Earlier, they heard a loud crash from downstairs and strange noises coming from all over the house. Thinking someone had broken in, they called the police.
glass, was it metal? What did it sound like?
I think it was just like a big thud and
So you heard glass shatter?
yeah.
However, after a thorough search, the police found no signs of forced entry or any clues suggesting a break-in. With no evidence of intruders, the police left. Later, when the friends watched the footage, they noticed something disturbing. Before the police arrived, they had decided to investigate the noises themselves.
Okay, it's
There's
fine.
somebody
Okay.
there, they can have
Okay.
help.
Okay.
Alright, I'll see you soon, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
One friend saw something moving in the dark, although it wasn't visible on camera, but they later noticed something else they hadn't seen before. a mysterious object swiftly moving behind the railing without making a sound. The friends now believe they might have captured a ghost on camera, describing it as a floating head passing by. What a sinister encounter. Let's see if there's any updates on this case. The footage we're about to discuss was uploaded by Rochelle G. She captured something quite unsettling while exploring an abandoned house. This property used to belong to a married couple, the Evinrudes, who were known for their joyful life together. Tragically, their story took a dark turn when an intruder broke in one night, resulting in their passing. Heartbroken, the couple's family decided against selling the house, honoring their memory. Eventually, they opted to rent it out, but tenants soon reported strange occurrences, ranging from drastic temperature shifts to shadowy figures seen outside the windows. Many renters left, spooked by the unsettling atmosphere, and the house was left vacant. When Rochelle entered the home, she aimed to document any paranormal activity. However, she unknowingly captured something eerie on camera. As she explored the dimly lit rooms, an unexpected moment occurred that required close attention. While panning the camera toward a door, a shadowy silhouette resembling a hand briefly appears in the corner of the frame before vanishing behind the doorway. Rochelle, unaware of what she had just filmed, approaches the spot where the hand was seen, only to find the area completely empty. This moment is particularly chilling because it aligns with the location where Mrs. Evinrude was tragically found. Could this be the ghostly figure of Mrs. Evinrude? Or might it have been a squatter watching her? Given the layout of the area, which has no exits, it's difficult to say for sure. One thing is certain, though, after what she experienced on camera, Rochelle has no plans to return to that house anytime soon. Now to an eerie recording which was shared by a guard who was working the night shift alone in a local mall. The mall had several strange incidents unfold during the past 50 years. Ever since its first opening, things can be heard and seen that lack any form of explanation, and the guard started recording once some of these mysterious happenings unfolded right in front of him.
Buenas noches, la plaza ya se cerró. ¿Hay alguien aquí? Buenas noches. Ya se cerró la plaza, joven. Buenas noches. Buenas noches, ya se cerró. ¿Hay algún niño aquí? Buenas noches.
Is it possible that a child got lost in this old mall just before closing? Very unlikely, thinks the guard, and in his opinion, it's more likely that this was a spirit that tried to get his attention. He hasn't heard these mysterious sounds ever since. Spooky. Let's turn to a man who just moved into a new house while working night security at a cemetery. After only a few days, he started to feel like something from the graveyard has followed him back to his home.
There you go.
Okay. The day later, it got even more spooky. Not only did the man start hearing loud, unexplained bangs, but the doors and even furniture in his house began moving by themselves.
Hello?
People say the man is still looking into all the strange activity happening in his home. The following was shared by a user who claims to work the night shift inside a funeral home. Apparently, he was showing the coffins off to one of his colleagues on the phone when strange things happened. Let's see.
Y las urnas, no sé si la pinche una mí. Dejo. Vete a la verga, qué pedo. A ver, aguanta, güey. ¿Qué pedo con esta madre? Ah, vete a la verga, güey. Pues deja fijarme, qué pedo. No sé si metió un pendejo, güey. ¿Esta madre está bien? Es pura mamada, güey. Pues como te iba diciendo, güey, pinches ataúdes bien vergueados nos dan, güey. ¿Qué pedo? Güey, creo que se ve algo en eso, la vez.
We can see how that door slams shut by itself. The man goes to check if perhaps somebody else was in the building, but he realized that he was totally alone. As he returns to the main area again, the door seems to close again. As he decides to walk back once more to look for the origins of these noises, he can capture a strange black shadow on camera.
¿Esta maestra está bien? Ya, es pura mamada, güey. Pues como te iba diciendo, güey, pinches ataúdes bien vergueados nos dan, güey. ¿Qué pedo? Güey, creo que se ve algo en una sola vez.
That's when the recording ends. But based on the reports, the man ran out of the building shortly after, as he was certain that this was paranormal related. Could it be? The girl in the following video was said to be practicing for her dance lessons, which she recorded regularly. After moving into their new home, they always felt like they were being watched. This was the first time that she actually captured something strange on camera. Some are sure that we can see a translucent shadow figure here. Could that be so? Perhaps the new home is haunted after all. This recording stemmed from a security guard who just started at a new job site, and he captured something so creepy that he apparently quit shortly after this shift. A strange shadow can be seen, and it even gets more unsettling once the guard turns on the lights. He states that this was certainly something demonic. Would you agree? This video was sent by Justine Lauert, and she tells me that it was recorded in a store in Asia. The owners noticed after reviewing their CCTV camera that there was a lady in front of their store, appearing out of nowhere and seemingly teleporting around. It is specifically said that there are no cuts during those frames, or that it is possible the camera glitched. So if that would be true, how is it possible then? Then the lady is just staring for a couple of moments. But what is really odd is a red thing appearing right behind her. Is it just a car? The owners were quite unsure about that. If it would just be her standing there walking around, it could be due to mental illness. But all of that other stuff, the apparition, the teleporting, isn't it pretty weird? This whole incident goes on for a little bit longer, and then that red apparition appears once more behind the lady. What exactly is going on here? please share your thoughts in the comments with me. I'm actually pretty curious. Have you ever seen something like that? The next video was featured by Sergeant Peppers, who states that he as well was out this night with two of his friends. They love venturing to abandoned tunnel systems, caves and catacombs all over Canada. In this video they were following a local urban legend about an abandoned catacomb system, which leads into a giant cave, and while doing some recordings in there, they lost track of one of their friends. Of course, this made them a bit uneasy, and it is said that what's to follow was their first documented paranormal encounter.
Matt? Following us? Why is it?
I s- Who's there?
You need to stop playing around, man. Matt!
Oh, he's freaking us out.
They came across a faceless person, pale and dressed in a white cloth. Many commenters speculate that this could perhaps be a former patient who lost their life in this tunnel system. Who knows what these old catacombs were used for back in the day? In the end, we can all just speculate what exactly took place down here. Now to a recording that a bus driver had shared. He was on the road one early morning, shortly before starting his shift. Claudio, the driver, states that he noticed the bus bell ringing, indicating entering passengers, which should have been impossible as he wasn't picking up passengers yet. When looking into the rear mirror, he noticed a strange sight.
Vale, nada. No, la tengo grabada, la concha de la lora la tengo grabada. Encima no hacía una mierda, boludo. Pero lo tengo grabado. Lo tengo grabado, boludo. Yo no sé usted, pero acá grabando veo a alguien sentado allá de fondo. Pero miro para atrás y no hay nadie. Post. Mirá. La piel de gallina tengo. No me va a querer asustar acá, ¿no? ¿Eh? La concha de tu madre. No sea malo. No sea malo, no sea mala. No sé, pero... No podés, no podés, no podés. No. Esto es algo único, loco. Posta que tengo un recagazo. Y de acá, del celular yo veo como a alguien, pero del espejo no veo a nadie.
There seems to be a black shadow sitting in one of the seats of the back row. As mentioned before, Claudio was alone at the time and had not picked up any passengers yet, which makes him believe that perhaps it had been a passenger from the afterlife visiting him that morning and taking a ride with him. What a creepy thought. The next clip comes to us from the user Fluvis. The footage was taken in 2015 and was pulled from a security camera in an office building. Unfortunately, not much information regarding the context of the sighting is available. However, we do know that this was filmed at 2 AM and that nobody was in the building at the time of the recording. Let's take a look. In the video we can see what looks to be a storage room with some miscellaneous office furniture and a small garage door. Nothing seems amiss at the beginning, but quickly we notice something strange appears near the center of the room. A weird black figure seems to slither on the floor for a while, and at first glance it might seem like something as innocent as a small animal. Things take a turn for the paranormal when the black shadow starts twisting and contorting itself into strange shapes. It seems to grow and shrink at will. Viewers have warned that this very odd shadow creature could possibly be demonic, especially given the inhumane form. After only a few seconds, the entity disappears into thin air. Could this be a demonic sighting that was caught on film? A man was recording his girlfriend while she was taking a shower. What he captured afterwards startled him to the core. If this isn't a prank, what could that have been? Looks like a female in the shower. Do you think it was just a friend that snuck into the bathroom when we didn't see it? Now to a recent investigation conducted by the team of Fourth Wall. They were investigating a new house in which something terrifying had unfolded. A man called Shin had bought an old derelict house. The house had been left vacant for a long time, and it was uninhabitable in its current condition, so he decided to renovate it. Shin lived a few hours away from this house, and would sometimes pass by it on his days off. One night he passed by the house and saw someone there. Thinking that the construction workers were working late into the night, Shin went inside the house to thank them. However, the house was locked, and no one was inside. On another day, when Shin passed by the house, he saw people there again. This is the video he took at the time.
誰かいますか？すいません。
He heard a noise from the second floor, and when he turned around, he heard something coming down the stairs. He then was about to go to the second floor when he heard a voice right next to his ear. Shin contacted the team of Fourth Wall to then conduct an investigation. They had a camera recording from outside at the time, and it captured an unnatural shadow. Several other of their cameras were filming strange phenomena as well. It looks like a person walking. The team came across a lot of unsettling events, and you are invited to check the original footage out yourself on the fourth wall. Now we are back at the home of Father Win MC Pix, who's documenting the haunting in the home of his family for over a year now. At this point, Win believes that the ghost of a young boy has followed him even to his daily job site, and he's seeing strange occurrences almost on the daily now.
Oh, it's cold right here. The other way. Hello? I'm not going up there. Definitely not going back there. Oh wow, it is really cold right here. What was that? Oh. I don't think it's happy we're here. I don't know. Oh, holy. Dude, there's...
Not only could he hear demonic noises in the building that day, but there was the silhouette of a creepy shadow figure, lurking in the corner in one of the rooms, evidently staring at Win. Creepy for sure. And a few nights after that, Win has captured more of the activity that today followed him back into his own house.
I'm playing only up in my office. Something keeps passing by this window. If you're walking by my office, I want you to knock it off. Holy. Is that you making all that noise back there? This thing's always closing doors. You need to get out. Dude. Will you knock it off, please? You gotta get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving? You're not gonna...
The noises sound pretty similar to what could be heard in the other building, making it almost certain that he is dealing with the same entity here. See how it is walking towards the door and then closing it? Pretty creepy, I would say. Let's see how this case will develop in the future. Another security guard who started his first shift at a new workplace. He had heard about infamous ghost stories that the other staff were sharing ever so often, but never thought anything of it. Tonight, strange crying caught his attention.
No, no. Hola. No mames. ¿Se escucha un bebé? No mames. Oh, güey, ¿se escucha un bebé? No mames. Güey. No mames.
Some say that the ghost of a child might still be roaming this building. The guard never found anyone, making him believe that it must have been indeed a ghost.